Well, how many jokes can I make about not posting for months at a time before the joke just becomes unfunny? Anyway, pop the baby, am I right? Anyway, so I played Canine Vanquish lately. Quick update about how I've been doing with Yu-Gi-Oh! I think my last list was like a Thunder... This is my channel, of course, it's a Thunder list. A Thunder Fiendsmith build. I played that for about 3 months, and then I eventually picked up Ryzeal, played the crap out of that. Played Ryzeal Fiendsmith, where I got my invite to Nats with it. Then I played Mitsu Ryzeal at Nats, bombed the crap out of that because the format, in my opinion, was kind of mid. And then after that, I spent a ton of money going into Vanquish K9, where I got to play it for a grand total of about 5 events before the ban list came out, and absolutely neutered the crap out of the Vanquish cards, which on paper were high-key the best part about the deck. So, Bryce, I know what you're thinking. Why are you still playing this deck? This deck is bad. If you're going to play a K9 list, you might as well just play Crystron. And I say, fuck you. Get out of my house. You're not paying rent. You don't get to have opinions here. Because I like the K9 cards. The K9 cards are awesome. Vanquish Soul plays through a shit ton of hand traps. I like decks whose engine is also non-engine. That's why I really like Bestials. It's why I really like... Yep. So, I played this. Previous format, this deck was like the best deck of the format. I mean, obviously it won Worlds, so it's clearly the best deck. But going into the new format, Crystron, obviously after, I believe it was either Lille or Anaheim, took down that event with Dagda Turbo. Not really a fan of that. But I did like how the K9s basically acted as an engine that gets better the more you hand trap it, which I really enjoyed. I like high rolling the hell out of my opponent, and playing this deck reminded me a lot of playing Crusadia Thunder Dragons at Portland in 2019. So that's basically how I decided to play this list. Let's just get right into that. First things first, you should know this is not a Vanquish Soul K9 list. This is a K9 Vanquish Soul list. Emphasis on the K9s because I am playing a shit ton of them. 3 Noroi, 3 Jokul, 1 Lantern, 3 Azuna, 1 Lupus, Forced Release, and 3 Case for K9. These are the best cards in your deck. The Vanquish Soul cards are awesome, but they're usually there just to bait hand traps and to further cement your board. I would not change the ratios on any of these except for maybe Lantern. I've genuinely wanted to play 2 Lantern because it plays really well into hand traps. If you open any of these plus a Lantern, your hand becomes so hard to interact with. And that was basically the crux of this deck. I wanted to play a deck that was extremely hard to interact with, especially in one of the most interactive decks, one of the most interactive formats of all time before the ban list dropped. And then now we're just playing Protoss, hand looping people, and playing Dagda now, which, I don't know, that's an argument for another time. Anyway, something I did want to play though, noting that the format was going to be without the Rosins and Sacred Souls, I wanted more cards that let me play through hand traps, and I specifically wanted fires that let me do that. Enter Red Layer. If you open this plus any of your starters, this just becomes full combo and you play through 3 hand traps for free. The first hand trap is turned off by the fact that you can just make the Ripper with this and whatever K9 you happen to have. If you use Jokul, you play through 2 hand traps regardless because you've already got 2 bodies. The Ripper will gain the second one, and then if you have the third one, then, well, you're cooked. So 3 Red Layer was awesome. This also comes up in grind games where you can just special it, add back another one, or if this dies, you can just continually get back another one. This is an easy side out going into game 2 and 3. I have a card that I specifically side out for this depending on the matchup because it is a fire. You wanted to keep that number up so that your Holly Sue remains playable going into further rounds. Your 1 card starter, 3 Mad Love, 1 Rosin. This sucks playing this at 1 because the important part about this was almost kind of like Colossus. You don't really use it for being a searcher. You use it for being the guy you summon off of Holly Sue on your opponent's turn. He allows you to be interaction through Holly Sue. Holly Sue on his own, I believe, is between 2 to 3 different forms of interaction depending on what matchup you're going into. Using this on your opponent's turn was way better than using Mad Love because the reliability of this is a lot better. Especially going into boards, you want to summon this under the EMZ so that way because you'll occupy 1 EMZ and then your opponent will have to use the second one, then this becomes guaranteed out to whatever you want to use. It's a lot easier to choose what you're outing with it instead of just Mad Love where you have to play, you don't have to play as methodically with the rosin as you do with the Mad Love. 2 Borger, 1 Caesar. This is pretty standard. I like Borger. This is one of my favorite cards to resolve. Like just making Holly Sue into the straw bonus card, and you get like, it just feels like really free value. 3 Holly Sue because this card's busted. Yeah, like this and Noroi are the cards that you need to respect in this deck the most, because if you don't, then you will just get absolutely blown out by it. 3 Jiaolong. I didn't want to play 3 of this, but you have to now that rosin's at 1, because you need to have the fires. With the current list I have, I'm on a total of, I believe it's either 10 or 11 fires, which is about a quarter of your deck. Dark is the most invaluable attribute, but considering that fire is extremely hard to get to without hard drawing, it's really important that you max out the number of these as you possibly can. Stake Your Soul, pretty standard. Rhoda, I was playing Pot of Prosperity for a while instead of this. I decided to cut Pot of Prosperity entirely for this because yes, you can draw the rosin, then this becomes dead, but you can use this to get to a fire. This also gets you into any other attribute. And also, if you go Pot of Prosperity, you can't Saryuja, which is really, really important for this deck. Spoiler, we're doing the 1-card Saryuja combo. For hand traps, 3 Ash, 3 Fualos. I don't really need to explain this. This negates Maxi, and this card is Maxi, so you need to play Maxi. This deck plays really well into a board. Of course, you side this out going into game 2 and 3, depending on if you're going first or second, but I mean, getting more, your engine is hand traps, so why would you not want to draw into more engine? That's it for the main deck. I am not playing the Dagda line or the Mjolnir line because Scythe was boring 3 years ago, and it's just as fucking boring as it was then as it is now. Extra deck, 2 rocks, Saryuja Little Knight. The 2 rock is fine. I never needed the 3rd one. You honestly don't need this as much as you used to because the K9s are more your focus. Saryuja is busted. I love this card, dude. I've been looking for a deck that can run this since 2019, just because using this to special dudes from hand or just draw a deep draw just feels so good to resolve. It's like one of those serotonin releases that you just don't get to have after 2019 happened. K9 Xyz, 1 Jax, Werewolf. I saw the new support where the new one's basically a negate and also graveyard interruption. I really like it. I don't know if I like it more than Werewolf, because Werewolf has interactions that you otherwise would not be able to interact with. Like, this being able to rip out card out of your hand, or your opponent's hand, giving you the knowledge is insane. It's almost like doing the Noroi into Saryuja setup, because if you have Noroi, you can pop the case, look at your opponent's hand, and then you can decide whether or not you want to Saryuja. This thing is even crazier because it can react to your opponent. So, like, if your opponent wants to go, like, oh, I don't know, Marshmallow, this can just straight up get rid of it. If your opponent is top decking, this basically ensures that no matter what, you're going to be winning, because you can, if your opponent tries to play, you look at their hand, rip whatever's out, and then they're basically on a dead draw. So whatever they top deck doesn't matter. 2 Ripper, I like playing 2 of this. I like the K9s for being really good for follow-up. That's why I play the really heavy K9 list. They're the best part of the deck. They're the follow-up that you're always able to get to. And this negates Nib, which is insanity. Typhon, fucking hate this card, but it's broken, so you have to play it. You play this with Lupus the most. I don't usually do that play a lot anymore because I have better options now. This does sometimes just steal a game. You have the space, you might as well play it. Though every time I summon this, it feels like I'm always losing. Nash Knight targets, I play these. This is the one you use to make under the Sea Nash Knight, and then you use this to out the Liger Dancer. I wanted to have some kind of main deck out to it. This was it. It's not hard to make a 5, especially since I'm playing 2 Nash Knight. So baiting the Liger Dancer the first time is the easy part. It's getting the second one out without the second Nash Knight is the hard part. High key, this deck loses to Baguska plus Liger Dancer more than it loses to double Liger Dancer, because you can just make, like, for example, if in the previous list, I was playing the regular 107 of this. This will let you distribute and then swing over both of them. I never saw my opponent making double Liger Dancer. They were mostly making Baguska Liger Dancer, which in my opinion is way better. Sea Nash Knight and then the Zeus. I don't own C104. I don't know whether or not I would play C104 because I've been playing this deck pretty much since K9 release and I have not missed it once. Nash Knight does everything C104 does, except this forces your opponent to interact with it. C104 is awesome. It just feels win more on occasion. Like, if you were playing, like, Crystron, where you're making a whole board, I would understand playing C104 over this. But in the meantime, I'm just playing Zeus and this thing and just being fine with it because I don't really need to worry about it. Also, I'm broke as fuck, and I saw the new OTS releases, and none of them were C104, so I have no reason to play it. Side deck. This is a bit subjective because this is more attuned to my local area where we have a lot of Draco Tail and Yummy. Dogoran. Going second. I love this card. The reason I'm playing this one is twofold. One, it's a fire, so you can reveal it off of the Holly Sue to get your monster from deck. And secondly, this is the one with the lowest defense. So if you give this to your opponent, unless they're playing exactly Yummy, where all their stuff is tiny, you can bounce this off of the Holly Sue and then special it again. This is a 1 card out to Hail to the Arclight, which is really good. I love it. I love playing Kaijus. They're basically removal spells that you can reveal off of Holly Sue, which is insanely good for me. Phantasme. I really wish I had the secrets, the original print. I hate this artwork, but it's fine. I was playing this, and then I cut these at one point for Pankratops because I wanted to have more outs to Yummy. What I eventually learned is that it's better to play other non-engine in your deck because, yes, you can just play into the Yummy. Like, this over the Snatchy is just awesome, or this over the Hail the Arclight is awesome. But sometimes you just want to stick big dudes. If you drop this on your opponent's turn, this turns off the quick play spell. This turns off most of their interaction. You could just swing into their dudes and not have to give a fuck. But Pankratops did the same thing, except I wanted more outs to Liger Dancer. Droll. Yep, Mitsu is back in the format. We're playing into Rise Eels, where they hand loop you, so you need to be ready for that, because God knows why we don't just get rid of these fucking cards. D-Shifter, another card that needs to just go away. I hate having to play this. I've won like 3 games because of it. Every time I do, I feel horrible because this card is broken and extremely ignorant, but you need to play it because if your opponent stops your turn, or if you go first and you happen to draw it, you just win on the spot. 3 Bell. I like this card. Going into Draco Tail, it's really good. Going into Yummy, it's really good, so I'm playing it. It's also an Earth, which matters. And then more garbage that needs to go. Yeah, this deck goes first and opens any of these 3. You just win on the spot. This is what you side out for your Charmies most of the time, because if you draw into any of these, especially off Saryuja, where you're deep drawing like 10 cards into your deck, it's extremely, extremely potent, and you're probably going to find it. Going forward, what would I change? Not a lot, if I'm being honest. My most recent change was I was playing Bystials, and I was playing Pankratops, and I cut them for this, and D-Shifter in the main, and Pankratops I also cut for the Dogorans. I wouldn't have any changes, to be honest. I've gotten like a pretty high kill streak, I guess, if you want to call it that, at locals with this deck, so I don't really have any changes I want to do. But now that I've like actually made like my name with this deck, I kind of just want to test with the K9 cards. Naroi is so fucking busted. This thing is almost better than like the old Crusadia combos. I might high-key play a K9 Vanquish Soul list, or a K9 Thunder list, just because the Thunder Dragon and Dark are 5s. You can play Allures, and this deck can search your Allure targets. You unironically have more non-engine slots because the non-engine and the becomes engine, because Izuna is a hand trap. This thing is better than Aloof Lupine, because if you get impermed on this, that's fine, because you'll usually have like other things to play through it. It's not like you're dying if you get your normal summon hit. You also have Rhoda in this. Like, this deck is a fucking Rhoda, or Case is a fucking Rhoda, which is insane. So you'll probably see that list next whenever I decide to actually start posting again. So hope you guys enjoyed. Comment, like, whatever, I don't care. If you're in the comments, I'm still responding to comments from like 2020, so if you want to post a comment, tell me how bad I am, tell me how shit my ratios are, or how I'm cringe because I've only been posting Thunder lists. Well, fuck you, I'm posting something else. Tell me. I always respond to comments. I love talking theory. It's my favorite part about playing this game is deck theory, and I love tweaking, or what's the word? I love tweaking. It's crazy. I love nitpicking the brains about people with decks like this that are so wide open that you can tech and play a lot of different things with. So hope you enjoyed. Whatever, do the thing. Later, peace.